welcome to today's session. It's another fairly hard session today. We're definitely going to be getting warm and sweaty, so I hope you've got a bottle of water to hand. Other than that, you won't need anything particular. If you have a weight, just an easy weight to hold in your hand, we can use that, but you definitely don't need it. Ditto, if you've got a thigh band, you can use that, but you don't need it. So, I hope you're ready to go. Let's start off with a warm-up. So, standing up, same as normal. We're just going to begin with a few walkouts. So, standing up nice and straight, thinking about your posture, looking ahead, hinging at the hips, keeping the knees not locked out, but keeping the legs fairly straight, hands down to the floor. Let's walk all the way along. Let me just shuffle back so you can see me. And then walking it back in again. And we're going to do 2 more of those. So getting that stretch down the hamstrings, walking it out to that plank, hold for a second, walking it back in. 1 more to go. And let's go. This time holding it in that plank at the bottom, taking 1 foot forwards to near where your hand is, and then let's do 3 circles in each direction. So as you do that circle, think about squeezing the glute forwards on that back leg, feeling that stretch at the front of the hip. We're trying to loosen up the hip joint here. And then 3 in the other direction. So you're probably feeling it back in the hamstring, but I particularly want you to think about squeezing that glute forwards. Feel that stretch at the front of the hip joint. Lovely, take that foot back and swap. Same on the other side. So it's really important to loosen up this hip joint. If we're spending all day sitting down, or a lot of the day sitting down, and the top direction, we get very tight at the front here, and then we really struggle to engage our hips. Lots of people complaining about lower back pain at the moment. Some of that's going to be poor posture when you're sitting, but certainly some of that's going to be tight hips, often lead to tight lower back. Into kneeling, and we're going to carry on with the hips. So we're just going to draw up at the front. So if you imagine our pelvis as a bowl of water, drawing up at the front, squeezing the glute forwards, feeling a stretch at the front of the hip there, probably a bit down the quad as well. Push and draw up. Relax, 1 more, push, draw up, so feeling that stretch there. Now taking the front leg out, and then just bringing the toe up towards you 3 times, so feeling that stretch down the back of the leg. You can lean forwards a bit, just so we're feeling that stretch into the hamstring there. Lovely, swap sides. You might want a cushion or a jumper or something underneath your knee. So starting off, again, squeeze forwards, draw up, so now feeling the stretch at the front of my left hip, so where the knee's on the ground. 1 more. Then taking that leg out to the front, bending over slightly and toes in towards your face. Feeling that stretch, probably feeling it a bit in the calf. Lean a bit further forwards to feel it into the hamstrings. Lovely. Into 4-point kneeling, so nice flat back. And then from there, we're just loosening up the upper back, so arm up towards the ceiling. Let's really work at this one today. We kind of sometimes go through the motion, so arm going up, either arm, or if you want hands on the shoulder, elbow going up, really open up that upper back, and then reach through. 2 more, working on that range of motion, so not forcing anything, definitely not going further than you are able to, it should never hurt with all of these warm-ups. It's about loosening up the body, ready for what's to come, never about forcing it more than it's able to. Same on the other side, so that hand goes up or elbow goes up, reaching up, and then reach through. So hips facing forwards, we're just looking to open up that upper back. Lovely, 1 more. Perfect, and then a little bit more through the hips. So take the knee in, out, and push back and up. So knee in, out, so big circle through the hip, pushing that foot up, so we're getting loosening up the hip, and then that last bit as we push up should be feeling into the glute. That same on the other side, in, out, push up, in, out, push up, 1 more. Lovely, so hopefully everything's feeling a bit looser, feeling ready to go. So we're going to do the same sort of format as we did Thursday last week. So it's the one where we're going to be working on your stability and your strength, and then we're adding in that power interval at the end. So we're going to start off, I'll show you each of the exercises we're starting off on, but the first round we're doing 40 seconds of the strength exercise, and then 20 seconds of that power exercise. So I'll tell you what it is just before we go into it, rather than trying to get you to remember it. I think last week I wrote it all up and it was showing backwards for half of you, so I haven't bothered writing it up this week. I'll just tell you what's coming so you're ready to go. But it's only 20 seconds, so don't wait to watch me join in, work hard. Don't worry too much about getting it precisely right. As always, work to your ability. If you need to take more rest, take more rest. If you can't do the full 20 seconds, do what you can. Go for quality, not for quantity. But don't worry about having to get it absolutely perfect. Join in, get that heart rate going. Don't work too hard, work to your abilities. Okay, are we ready? So we are starting off with a squat. So 40-second squat, and then we're going 40 seconds into a kind of jumping explode squat. With all of the higher intensity stuff, there will be some jumping about. That's really good for strengthening bones, strengthening ligaments, but if it's more than what you do normally, maybe do some of them but take out the jump. If you've got any injuries that mean you shouldn't be jumping, then I'll give you options. So don't be jumping about if you shouldn't be jumping about. Right, are we ready? So squats, let's get going. So with your squat, join in with me. You want your hips to be going backwards, just coming slowly up and down. If you've got that weight, you can add it in. So hips coming backwards rather than knees going forwards. Imagine you're standing on a giant piece of paper and you're pushing your feet apart, trying to split that piece of paper in half. So you should be feeling your glutes working at the back here, not just the quads at the front. We're trying to, for most of us, we're quad dominant. We always over-favour our quads. We want to try and get the back side, literally, of our body working more. Okay, we've got 10 seconds more to go on these nice controlled squats, and then we're going to take it out and we're going into an explode. So low impact version, down and up. Impact version, if you're happy to add in that jump, add in that jump. So join in with me now. 10 seconds to go. Starting to feel that burn now. We're going straight into the next round, no rest. We're doing 5 minutes, 6 minutes I think, then we get a rest. Lovely, so into a plank, holding it in a plank. So for this round, just a normal plank, then we'll add things on as we go through. So with your plank, you can either have your knees on the floor, you can have your hands on a raised surface, or a normal plank. Whew. Normal plank, making sure you're holding it, straight line all the way through. So straight line from the shoulders down to the heels, making sure you're not sagging through, making sure you're not waving your bum in the air. 10 seconds longer to go. Then we're going into mountain climbers, which is either low impact version, like that, or taking it a bit harder, like this. So join in with me now, whichever version you want. Five seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, good work. Okay, into single leg squats, and we're doing our compass squat. So we're standing on one leg, we're going down to touch the front, to touch the side where our kettlebell's in the way, and behind. So keeping on going, we're doing the whole 40 seconds on one leg. Whew, get a bit of a breather in there. With these single leg squats, as always, thinking hips coming backwards rather than knees going forwards. 10 seconds to go. Then we're going to go into hops on the leg that you're standing still on. If you can't do hops, then go into balance work. So just standing on one leg, write the alphabet with the other leg. It's only 20 seconds. Right, everybody who can hop, into hopping, trying to make sure you step up and land in about the same place. Imagine there's an X on the floor, landing in the same place. Lovely. Off we go on the other leg. So forward, backwards, no, sideways, and backwards. So keeping on going. Again, thinking hips back, so we're really working into those glutes. We're working hard, but we're always focusing on that technique, building that stability and control. Glutes so important for runners, for cyclists, even for swimmers. So working to get that control as we go. We've got another 10 seconds of these, and then into single leg, either hops or balance. So if you're doing the balance, try writing the alphabet with the other leg. So you're just working that balance on the standing leg. Here we go. If you're joining in with me, hops, trying to make sure that you're landing on about the same place as you start off from. See, I've got that left control, I keep on collapsing in slightly there. Whew. Harder than it looks. Good, upper body. So, down onto the floor, hands tucked underneath your shoulders, toes tucked under at the back. Push up, working through those triceps. If you can't get off the floor, no worries at all. As long as you can feel those triceps working, hold it as long as you can. When you need to, just come down to the floor, push up again. You're halfway through, 20 seconds to go, working through those triceps. Hold it if you can. If you need to take a break, absolutely fine. Take it down to the floor, then push up. 3, 2, 1. We got burpees. So low impact version, stand up, walk it out, walk through and up. High impact version or harder version, jumping it through. One more to go. Good work. Final round for now. Into curtsy lunge, up to balance. Oh, it's hard when you're tired. Holding it for a second, curtsy down, up to balance. Curtsy down, up to balance. Lovely. We've got 5 seconds to go. So you're working through that glute as you step back, working that balance, and you'll feel how much harder that balance gets as you get tireder. From there, into skaters. So from side to side, get that back foot coming out to the side behind you, work through that controlled landing. Lovely. Curtsies on the other side, so step behind, up to balance. Just going to go back further. So you'll notice how much harder it is to do that balance work as you get more tired. Remember, for all those runners, after you've been out for a run, you're going to be getting tired, and running is a single leg activity, so it's really good to challenge ourselves when we're more fatigued to see if we can still do that effective balance. Lovely. A few seconds longer. We won't do the skaters again after this because we've already done them on the other leg. So then we're taking a quick break. One more. Lovely. Grab some water if you need it. Get your breath back. And then we're into clams. So we're doing some stability exercises as a break between the other rounds. So lying on your side, feet in line with the back. Opening up that top leg, making sure as you open up, you carry on leaning in towards the mat. So you should be feeling it working here. Hold it for a second at the top there. If you're not feeling it, just hold it at the top. Pulse it at the top. So tiny little movement. Engage, relax, working through. We're going to do a minute on each side. Now then, while we're lying around doing nothing here, just to let you know what's happening going forward. So next week, sessions are as normal, but then after that, as we go into June, I'm going down to one session, free session, which will replace, well, it doesn't really matter which one it replaces, there'll be one free session a week, probably either on a Monday or a Wednesday evening. And then I'd be really interested to know from you guys if you would be interested in doing another session. I know that a lot of online attendance for things has been going down a bit as lockdowns release, as people are spending more time outside. If you'd be interested in a paid session, swap sides, let me know. I either pop it in the comments or I'll post up a link just with a really, really short survey to know if people would be interested in a paid session. It wouldn't be expensive, it'd be a few pounds, but it would be a group session, but that can only go ahead if enough people want it to happen, because I can't do a group session for one person. So I completely commit, I'll carry on doing one free session a week, probably the Monday or Wednesday evenings. I just need to sort out some other stuff. But if you'd be interested in an additional paid session, as a group session, either Facebook kind of format like this, I talk at you but I can't see you, or it could be via Zoom so I can see you, I can check in on your technique and everything. If you'd be interested in that, either pop it into the comments or I'll post a link up. I don't know how to post a link on Instagram, but I'll post a link up on Facebook after this. Let me know, or just find me on @FeelFitWithLucy on Instagram or Facebook and drop me a message. Perfect. From there, lying on your back, engage through the pelvis and dropping one foot down to the floor at a time. If you want to make it harder, take those feet further away from you. If you want to make it harder still, legs out straight and like that, but always making sure you're not using your back. So keeping the pelvis in neutral. You've heard me say that a million times, but keeping the pelvis in neutral, making sure you're not arching the back. So think about hip bones drawing towards your nose rather than letting them point towards your toes. 30 seconds to go. So just to summarise, next week as normal, Tuesday session, Thursday session as normal, but then from June onwards, one free session, details to be confirmed. If you don't already follow me on Facebook at Feel Fit with Lucy or on Instagram at Feel Fit with Lucy, make sure you follow me on there and then I'll let you know what's going on. If you would be interested in paying for a group session, let me know via any online format and I'll sort something out. Perfect. Right, we are back to the beginning. You're not going to want to pay for this one, are you? Right, so we're starting back with our squats again. Are we ready? We're doing side squats, so we're going from the middle, out to one side, out to the other side. And let's go. So squatting down, back to the middle, out to each side. If you want to add in that weight, you can add in a weight. And this round we're doing 30-30, so only 30 seconds of the strength. That's the good news. The bad news is that we're doing 30 seconds of the power exercise. So you've got another 10 seconds to go, and then we're going back into those rocket squats, so touching down, either jumping up or standing up. Last one, and let's go. So touch down, either jump or just stand up for 30 seconds. 15 seconds to go. Starting to feel those legs working. 3, 2, 1, into a plank. So back to a plank, and then up to you. You can either just hold it in a normal plank, or if you feel up for it, we're going down, onto the elbows, back up again. Try and occasionally change the arm you push back up again. Doesn't matter too much. 10 seconds to go. Make sure you keep that core engaged. Then remember, we've got mountain climbers coming next. So taking those knees towards the elbows, either with a hop or without. Work to your level of fitness. And if you've got any injuries that mean you don't want to be jumping about, then you just walk the knee up on each side. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh, good work. Up to standing on one leg, and you know the one where we go across the body, to the front, and then to the side, looking to control this knee, the standing leg knee, making sure it's not coming out too far to the front, making sure it's not moving about too much as we change where we put that hand. Last set. Then we're going into those hops. Now, bear in mind how many hops you normally do. If you don't normally do many at all, you might want to turn this into a balance exercise. You can stand on one leg, turn the head side to side. Don't do more than what you're used to. If you're good with hops, we're going side to side. Trying to keep our centre of mass in the middle, so body stays here, foot moves side to side, below you. But like I say, we need to build up to all these things. So if you're not normally doing much hopping, don't suddenly go wild for the hopping today. Lovely, other side. So back to hinging at the hips. Hips go back behind us, reaching across, forwards, and to the side. Sorry for the panting. The irony is I have two enormous great fans next to me here, but it'll be too noisy if I put them on. Last 5 seconds. And then again, either into balance or into hopping. Last one. Let's go. So if you're doing balance, you just turn your head side to side. If you're hopping, join in with me now. Side to side again, trying to keep the centre of mass in the middle, foot's jumping either side. Imagine there's a line, if you've got a floorboard, jumping side to side across that line on the floor. Alright, into triangle, pike press, so bum in the air, head shooting down, forwards. So working through the shoulders at the front, certainly working through the triceps as well, probably feeling it all the way through the body. And then, as if it couldn't get any harder, we've got those burpees to come. Last one, lovely, into burpees. Oh, didn't go all the way down there. Trying to get down to the floor. Trying to make sure as you come up, all the way up. Work to your range, don't overdo it. 5 seconds to go. The last one. Good work. Into lunges. Sorry, so curtsy behind, lunge forward, and then swap. So curtsy on the other side, lunge forward. Okay, so we're curtsying, same leg comes forward, then we swap legs. Lovely, last one. Back to those skaters. So get that leg coming right behind, keeping the control. Get those arms in for power. Last 5 seconds. Good work. So, quick breather. Then either back into clams, or if you've got a band, band on. So, if you've got a band, open out, get those glutes working, then just hold it there. So feel those glutes working, they're opening out. Now just into tiny pulses, opening out. So working from here. Should be feeling it. Those glutes that are responsible for opening us out, the glutes that are so important for stopping our knee from collapsing in when we're running or cycling. Get them working now. Okay, if you're in clams, swap sides. If you're on the band, carry on with me into side step. So keep the knee really far as you bring the foot in to walk. Only comes in a little bit. The feet or the knees stay far apart the whole time. Keep opening out from here. Keep the feet, try and keep the feet very parallel, so not pointing out. Last few seconds. Good. Band off. Back onto the floor, if you're on clams, you're already there. Into a V-sit. So we're just holding it here. And breathe. Lovely. If you want to make it harder, you can take the knees further up. Trying to make sure you're about equal in terms of that V angle. So from here, hips and upper body coming up to make a kind of equal V, if that makes sense. Another 30 seconds. Let's take it a little bit lower if we can. So just holding it there. Balancing on your bum. Let's take it back up again. Engaging that core if you're feeling it in your back. Take a break, re-engage. 10 seconds to go. The last 5. Good work, guys. That was the rest. Right, are we ready for final round? So it's another 30-30, starting off with our squats, then into the explodes. Grab some water. Okay, jumping up, or standing up steadily, whichever you prefer. So, taking it down into that squat position, we're holding it down at the bottom, we're just pulsing it down at the bottom. It's only 30 seconds, so getting as low as you can and pulsing it there. Lovely. Let's take one up onto one toe. And that toe down, other toe up, heel, you know what I mean. Last few seconds and getting ready to go into those explodes. And let's go. If you know you can't do the full 30 seconds of the power moves, you could always spend a little bit longer on the strength and then join in when you know you can, or just go for as long as you can, take the break when you need to. Learn to work to your ability. Don't just push on for the sake of it. Listen to your body, work as hard as you can, but don't risk losing technique. Whew. Right, back to plank. So, side plank, straight arm or bent arm up to you, and then we're taking one arm up, then we're reaching through, swapping to the other side. So I would take your feet so that you can just flip them side to side, so not on top of each other. At the moment I've got my left foot and my top foot in front, so then I can just swivel through. Last one to each side. You know what it is, burpee time. Good, got carried away there, into single leg squats. So on one side, going down into a single leg squat. So just holding it nice and controlled, up and down on one side. If you need to put the other side down, just balance, that's fine. Thinking hips going back rather than that knee coming too far forwards. So imagine we're sitting into that chair behind us. We've got 10 seconds to go on this side. Last one. Let's, rather than going into cardio, let's have a break. Let's go. Other side. Good, 15 seconds to go. So thinking hips coming back, controlling it, making sure that front knee's not collapsing in. Working through that stability, working through the glutes. Lovely. Into hops. This time we're going forwards, backwards, side, side, doing 30 seconds on each leg. So forwards, backwards, side, side. Always trying to imagine that point in the middle that you're coming back to. Doesn't matter too much on which order you're doing. Again, if you're not used to doing hopping work, try just doing balance work on one leg instead. Squeaky onto the other side. I think that's all the sweat on the floor that I'm squeaking on there. Ooh, definitely got less control on this side. So need to keep working on that. 10 seconds to go. Good work. Let me just move these out of the way. Right, so curtsy lunge, then side lunge out to the side. Back to the middle, swap sides. Curtsy side, curtsy behind, side lunge out to the side, back to middle. Let me go a bit further back so you can see. Curtsy, side. Curtsy, side. Doesn't matter too much. I'm taking the outside knee as the bent knee. As long as you're consistent, doesn't matter too much. No, got that one wrong. Oh, losing it. You know what you're doing. Ignore me. Last few seconds on these, then we're going back into those skaters. Let's go. So looking for that control, looking to control it as the foot comes back behind you. So you've got that kind of pendulum going behind that the standing leg has to control. 15 seconds to go. One there. Lovely. So back into either clams. If you haven't got a band, if you've got a band, stick that band back on. Finishing with the stability. So stability is the key that unlocks the potential for that strength and power. Without stability, we can't put strength and power on top. So those of you who join on the Tuesday nights, that's where we tend to do a bit more of the stability, less of the jumping around. So just starting with that opening out. Getting those glutes going again, and then we're going to go into a cowboy walk. So I go a little bit lower than the knees for these ones. Big swagger, push out, keeping the feet fairly parallel, making sure that the knees stay pushing out the whole time, so don't let those knees collapse in. Work in the range of space that you have, but make sure you're including some going forwards and going backwards. Up onto toes. So these are always harder, partly balance, but also you're just working to control and stabilise a lot more. But as I was saying, it's that stability that allows us to put the power in. Otherwise it's a bit like if we were trying to develop a really powerful wind turbine. Ellie, this one's for you if you're watching. You're trying to develop a really powerful wind turbine, but you haven't built big stable foundations, your wind turbine's just going to fall over or go flying off. So we need to build a stable foundation. So these small stability-based exercises that get us the control through things like our glutes, through our core, that then means we can do the jumping about and have confidence, or some confidence, that our joints are going to be able to stabilise us on landing. Lovely. Back onto the floor, into a V-set. Up to you whether you have a weight in for this one or not. So into your V-set, and then you can either touch hands to each side, or if you've got the weight, touching the weight to each side, trying to keep these knees in front of you. Don't know what other knees they'd be, but anyway, the knees in front of you staying stable, so don't have them switching side to side to stabilise your hands going side to side. Again, work to your level. If you're feeling it in your back, take a break, maybe go back into those dead bugs, or just take a break, reset, make sure you're using the core, not your back. So anybody who joined late, just to let you know, next week is the last week of the sessions on these days, so Tuesday 6 o'clock, Thursday 1 o'clock. After that, from June onwards, there'll just be one session, free session a week, which will be in the evening, Monday or Wednesday, and you just need to confirm. And then if you're interested in a paid session, a group session, so it won't cost too much, but I need enough people to be interested to make it worth running it, let me know, and I will set up a group session. I will post a link onto Facebook in just one sec, so you can let me know what kind of times work for you, and if there's enough people who are interested at the same time, I'll set something up. If you're interested in one-to-one sessions, you can book those right now, either on Facebook or on Instagram. You go to the Book Now button on my profile and you can book a one-to-one session. 30 minutes or 60 minutes, either a one-off or a block of sessions. You can do those, but if you want to carry on with the group session, then let me know. Right, so into some stretching. Let's do quads first, and I'll post that link up in a sec. So lying on your front, heel in towards your bum, pushing the hip forwards, so you're getting stretched down the front of your quad. Keep pushing that hip in, stretching through that quad. You carry on with that, and I'll just post the link. Apologies, you're about to see me getting very sweaty up close to you. Post it up afterwards, or just drop some comments into the session and let me know if you're potentially interested. So, stretching quad on the other side. So breathing deep, breathe into the tightness, and then gently squeeze the glute forwards to get a good stretch into the front of your quads at the front of your thigh. Lovely, onto your back, so stretching into your glutes, crossing one leg over, grabbing that thigh in towards you, so if you're feeling a stretch on the bent leg side. Just to flag up, I talked lots about it on Tuesday. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week, which is about raising awareness that mental health is an issue that will affect a lot of us, if not directly, certainly through friends and family, and particularly more than ever at a time like this. So just take some time to check in on your friends, but also on yourself. And I talked lots about it on Tuesday, but being kind to ourselves and not putting too much pressure on ourselves, particularly at the moment. I think people went into lockdown with all these expectations, all these millions of projects that they were going to get done, things that they were going to achieve. And I don't think any of us quite knew what was coming, how things would be. But if you haven't got all that done, if all you're managing to do is get through the day, get the kids up and out and back to bed in the evening, whatever, you know, be kind to yourself, don't put too much pressure on yourself. But also, again, I talked a lot about it on Tuesday, but don't make every session about beasting yourself, about being hard. Make some of that session just enjoying the pleasure of doing the session, giving yourself praise for what you've achieved. Maybe you didn't do all of the intervals today to the whole minute or whatever, but you got them done. You might not have done the session at all. So give yourself praise and appreciation for what you have done. If you're going out for a run, don't worry too much about the numbers. Take some time to look around, see the flowers, hear the birds and everything. If you're interested in more of that, then play back my session from Tuesday. You'll find it on Instagram TV or on Facebook in the live session. You'll find all the videos in there, but there's lots of sort of tools and tips in terms of sports psychology ideas that you can use to kind of help yourself and just be kind to yourself. Anyway, I hope you have had a good session. What else do we need to stretch? Let's do into your chest. We were working through there, so hands onto the hips and then just pushing the elbows together, getting a good stretch across the chest. And then just stretching through the sides, so one hand over the head, get that good stretch down the side. Take a deep breath in, imagine you're breathing into the side of the rib where the arm's going over, so you're getting that stretch all the way down the side there. Onto the other side. And then let's go, you can either do a normal calf stretch or up into the air, walking one heel down to the ground at a time, just to get a good stretch into the calves there. Now this stretch should be going into gastroc, which is the big head of the muscle there. And now I want you to stand up and push one knee forwards, and now I should be feeling a stretch into the bottom of the calf. So we've done lots of that bouncing about today. Your calves will have been feeling it, so I want to make sure we're stretching top of the calf muscle and the bottom. You might be feeling a bit in your quad here because you're kind of doing a little single leg squat, but you're pushing that knee forwards as far as you can, keeping the heel down so you're getting a stretch into the bottom of the calf. Swapping over. So again, it's the front leg, bottom of the calf and rehydrate, and I look forward to seeing you. So same as normal next week, and then June, let me know if you're interested in those paid sessions. Good to see you all.